But that's a part of my strength, and that's also a part of my Libraism because we will do that. But if I need to be strong, then I got you. Like I'll show up. She shows up. But I'm not gonna wear a superwoman cape just to make other people comfortable. That's another thing I don't do. I don't
Okay.
wear a superwoman cape. If I don't feel like doing it, I'm not. Like I'm not. My kids
Oh,
know that. Honey knows that. I'm not doing it.
she said, nope,
Right.
absolutely not.
No, I don't have a problem with the word no. But one of my pet peeves is weak women, and it's somebody who really doesn't know who she, again, it's like show them who you are.
Okay.
So it's like when we start stepping into that power of
Mhm.
like, oh, wait a minute, I done birth all, these babies. You child, I am quick again to remind my kids who I am. Do you know who I am? So I just think having that level of audacity in all things.
Okay. You need to
Mhm.
get a shirt that says something like that.
I
Because
am. I am.
use you with audacity a number of times. I'm like, get a I'll definitely buy that.
Right. Let me write these down.
Write
So
it down. Get
Google
a
me, honey, because that's the number one. Google me. And
yeah,
then
Google me. Yep.
audacity, like,
Yeah,
show
those are
them who
two
you
good
are.
ones.
Like,
Yeah.
show them
Those are
who
some
you
good
are.
ones. Those are some good
And
ones.
somebody said to me, "Do you know you have all these Tracyisms?" And I was like, "Yeah, I've been told that." Like,
Right. Hey, write your little book too.
yeah.
Have chat help you with that. That'd
Oh,
be
yeah,
great
that's a
too.
good one.
Yep.
Yeah. So go ahead.
So, what's the biggest lies we tell ourselves about having to figure everything out before we launch a business?
The lies we tell that we have to have everything all together.
Mm-hmm.
We have to have everything all together. Well, I don't have I don't have that, or I don't look like this, and I don't have all the lighting, I don't have all the equipment, I don't have like
Mm-hmm.
Keith Lee started from his phone and a baby chair at a table. Like you see what I was like? He had an iPhone, that little his daughter's chair
Yeah.
and a table, and all he did was just show up and give his opinion about food.
Yeah.
Thinking that we have to have all the things in place.
So
Yeah.
how do you give yourself permission to learn as you go? I mean, for you, I
Mm.
mean, how did you when you started? You you know,
I think because I don't know everything, and I'm okay with, I don't want to know everything, but
no.
I want to learn what is going to improve me. I'm a person who takes good information and uses it right away. I
Oh,
use good information right away, if it's applicable to me and where I want to grow. I also study other people that I admire and how
mhm.
they're showing up and how they're doing things and the impact that they're making and how they're marketing. Again, so I'm constantly watching and learning, uh, because I want to be better. I want to be better than I was yesterday.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you've coached many women from different age groups. What patterns or strengths do you notice in women entering entrepreneurship in the midlife that you don't always see in younger women?
Hmm. That's a good question. What patterns do I see that I don't see in younger women? Well, the younger women don't have the experience behind them to add to the bottom line, just because they haven't gotten there yet. But I see the women of a particular age, we have that. But
Mhm.
now it's like, how do we use it to our advantage in these times? And I think the younger girls, they already know how to use things to their advantage despite what they don't have.
Okay.
Yeah,
'Cause I
that's where I see the difference lies.
and I also think that as we get older and we start doing things and it becomes like on autopilot, and you kind of touched upon this earlier, that writing down what we've accomplished, even though we might think it's insignificant or
Yeah,
small or meaningless,
yeah.
writing it down really helps you understand and see, you
Who you
know,
are.
who you are, right, and what you
Yeah,
have to offer.
Yeah.
So that's a really good, suggestion. Just even if it to build your own confidence to say, "Oh, okay,
Mhm.
I forgot about that and I didn't realize I knew how to do that," because
Yeah.
we just look at it as it's just everyday life or whatever. So that's a good idea. So are
Yeah.
there distinct challenges or mindset blocks you've seen in midlife women that require different coaching approaches than working with women in their 20s and 30s?
I don't really work with women in their 20s. I
Okay.
work with more women who are 30 and up.
Okay.
Um, I just think it's honestly, it's like understanding your value. And I see that that's an, oh, and that just breaks my heart because I understand where it comes from.
Mhm.
Um, it breaks my heart. That's why I spend time in that teaching or saying again, just like with that simple exercise that you just mentioned, like, we just need to remind ourselves. It's like we always contend with value because in Western society, it's taught that women are less than.
Mhm.
But when you really understand where that comes from, you understand the Jedi mind trick that the patriarchal system has pulled over everybody. And it's like when we start tapping into that divine feminine energy. That's why women can't do business the way men can. And it's not serving. It's not
Right.
serving of us from a masculine approach. Yeah, I can step into my masculine and run all over you. And I work. I align myself with women who do the same thing, like who will tear men down. Maybe I sound like I'm man bashing, but I'm not trying to. I'm not really trying to bash men. It's just that I think I'm just calling it as it is. And these are the
Yeah.
truths that we have to contend with, but essentially they're misconceptions and our lies. So when you really get to the root cause, and I think that's what I have seen across the board, no matter what industry that I'm in, is root causes. Like I know in Western society, we're used to putting Band-Aids on cancer. I'm used to getting to the root of what is really going on. And if you operate on a superficial level, you're never going to be impactful. Like my goal is to have a global impact. And the
Mm.
only way I can get to a global impact is getting to the core and dealing with the essence of who we are. And I can't help that my truths are, if I'm telling the truth, I can't help that. Then change the current situation so we don't have to regress. But even though I went off on a tangent, I think that's what I see. It's really like we have to get to the value of understanding the core of who you are. And until we get to understand that, a lot of times women don't want to have that conversation, especially women who are in their 50s and up. They're not ready for that deep-seated conversation of where is this coming from? And that's coming from, the religion.
Yeah. And especially in the Black community even
Oh,
more
girl.
so.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, like you said, that's another
Yeah.
conversation.
But I had somebody in they decided to DM me on a video, a short that I had posted about my use of the word universe in relation to God. And I'm like, you don't want to have that conversation with me. And that
Mhm.
was literally my response. It's like, you don't want to have that conversation with me. I said, first of all, don't push your ideals or your beliefs off on me.
Right.